Hey, this is MJ, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this cozy and textured dishcloth. The yarn that I'm using for this pattern is cottage cotton from Herrschners. This is a medium 4-weight yarn. It is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. And the color that I'm going to be using for this tutorial is Wisteria. You'll need 2 hook sizes for this pattern, a 4mm and a 5mm, and these crochet hooks are from Furls, and they'll be linked in the description box as well as the yarn. So we will begin with a slip knot on our hook, and I'm going to chain out 41. So I'm using the 5mm hook at this point. So chain a total of 41. Now in the second chain from the hook, we're going to work a half double crochet. Now I'm going to turn my chain so that I can see the little back bumps, the back leg of the chain, and I'm going to work into those bumps rather than the back loop of the chain. But if you're struggling with that, you can go ahead and work into the back loop of the chain right here. But if you can turn and see the little back bumps, we're going to work into those. So I'm going to work a half double crochet, and then I'm going to work a slip stitch into the neck. So I'm just going through, pulling a loop and pulling it through the loop on my hook. Then I'm going to yarn over and work a half double crochet. Then a slip stitch. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to get that back bump, but you might just need a fiddle. And we're just going to keep alternating a half double and then a slip stitch all the way across. Okay, so I'm coming to the end. So I have a half double, and you should be ending with a slip stitch. Last little one's a little tricky to get through. Okay, so I have it through the back. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn. So now in every slip stitch, we'll be working a half double. Every half double, we're working a slip stitch. So again, we're starting with the half double, going into the slip stitch of the previous row, and then we work a slip stitch in the half double of the previous row. So half double, slip stitch, half double, and then a slip stitch. And doing that alternating gives you this beautiful texture. So it has this little ridging, and it gives the dishcloth a nice texture. So I'm going to go ahead working that across. Okay, and you should be ending with a slip stitch. Chain 1 and turn. And we're going to continue to just follow a repeat of row 2. So we're always starting with a half double crochet, and we're ending with a slip stitch. So now the dishcloth should be about 10 inches, and then when we add the border, it'll be about 11 by 11. So what you want to do is crochet till you have about 10 inches, the same as the width, and that's going to be approximately 44 rows. Now, if you need to alter it so that it comes out square, if you're using a different yarn and maybe the measurement is slightly different, you can always either change your stitch count in multiples of 2, or just go ahead and work as many rows as you need to get yourself a square. So if it's a little bit smaller, that's okay. Some dishcloths measure about 10 by 10. So if you have 9 inches, that should work out. Now remember, it may take a few rows, sometimes depending on how your chain has started out. You may want to do a few rows before you check the actual width of the dishcloth. But to get it the same size as what I've done, 11 by 11, you want to do it about 10 by 10. Chain 1 and turn. And I'm going to change over to my smaller hook, which is my 4mm. So this should be about a square shape at this point. So you can give it a measure, and if you need to do more or fewer rows, just go ahead and work what you need to so that you have approximately a square. Now what we're going to do is single crochet across the row. So once you get to the last stitch at the corner, we're going to single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet in that first row. So now we're going to work single crochets down the side. You want 1 single crochet per row. So including our corner, we're going to have a total of 44 stitches across the side. Okay, and once we get down to the corner, single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet in the corner. And then we're going to work across each stitch. And if you worked in the back bump, it makes it easy to see the stitch as you work along the bottom. So you're going to continue this around now. So when we get to the other corner, we will single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, work up the side, and then I'll meet you up at the last corner. Okay, and once we get to the end, we're going to single crochet, chain 1, and then we'll slip stitch in the first single crochet to join, but I'm going to go through the back loop, chain 1, and now I'm going to single crochet around through the back loop only. Okay, I'm going to work across and I'll meet you at the corner. So now once we get to the corner in the chain 1, we'll single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. And then we can continue to work single crochets through the back loop only. All the way around. So every corner, chain 1 space, you're going to do a single, chain 1, single, and then continue working single crochets through the back loop only around. So I'm going to continue around and then I'll meet you back up at the start. Okay, so I've worked my single, chain 1, single in the chain 1 space, and now I'm going to slip stitch in our first single crochet to join, chain 1. And I'm going to do a picot edge now. Now, if you want to keep it plain, you could continue to work around single crochets in the back loop only to give it a nice edge. But the picot border looks like this, so it just gives it a little fancier look. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do this type of border. So we're going to single crochet in the first stitch, chain 3, single crochet back in the same stitch. Then we're going to skip 2 stitches, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, skip 2 stitches, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the same stitch. Really simple and easy to do. And as I get to the corner, depending on how your corner looks, you could always, instead of skipping 2, you could skip just 1. Try and get that you do have one of our picot edges in the corner. So if you need to just skip 1, but you don't really need to be too fussy with it. Just continue going around and just try to get that you do have one of our little picots in the corner. Okay, so I'm going to continue working that around. Okay, so I'm just finishing off the last picot stitch in the corner. So single, chain 3, single crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch in our first single crochet to join and then fasten off. You may need to give it a little pull, but overall it should lay pretty flat. If this is pulling in too tight, you may want to use a larger hook. If it's waving too much, you may need to use a smaller hook to get it to be nice and even and flat. So then take your yarn needle and we're just going to weave in any loose tails. I'm going to go to the wrong side of my work just to weave this through. And I'm going to weave it one way and then back in the opposite direction. So now if you give it a measure, it doesn't have to come out exactly the same size as mine. Mine is about 11 by 11 inches. So I like to just weigh it to see what I have left. So I have about 36 grams left, and these are 100 gram balls. So you're not going to be able to get 2 dishcloths from 1 ball. But if you have 2 balls, you should be able to get 3 dishcloths from 2 balls. So lastly, I'm just going to show you how to do a cute folding tutorial. So I'm going to fold this into a little bunny. So take your corner and start to roll it all the way. Okay, then you're just going to take your cloth, you're going to fold it up like this to create your ears, but I'm going to grab, you could use ribbon if you want. I'm going to use twine. You could even use an elastic band whatever you want to tie it. So I'm going to use some twine and just going to grab some more. So I am rolling off about 26 inches. I'm taking 2 pieces. So I'm going to go with 26 and I'm going to fold it again because I want about 4 pieces. You can really do as many as you want. I just want it to be a little bit thicker. And you can just snip the end. Okay, so we're going to take our cloth, we're going to fold it, and then I'm going to tie it. This is just a cute little way to display your dishcloths or give as a gift. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tap the bell to stay updated on all my new videos and tutorials. Make sure to check the description box below the video for all the links to the pattern as well as the yarn. Thanks so much, guys. Have an awesome day.